Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker is going to be running for the Republican nomination for the presidency, and this weekend we got to find out exactly what sort of man Scott Walker actually is. He's a politician. And when I say that, I don't mean that he is a public servant. I mean that he is the sort of pathetic, underhanded, cowardly, slimy politician that makes people hate politics. That makes the regular person out there just trying to go about their life not want to pay attention to politics, not want to get involved in political discussions, not want to vote. And for people like me who have to pay attention to it and come and speak to you about it to you, it makes me temporarily at least hate my job, because he is the definition of political cowardice, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. He was being interviewed at the winter meeting of the National Governors Association, and he was asked whether or not he thought President Obama is a Christian, which is a fact that everybody knows. If you're not a freaking psychopath, you already know that that's the truth. But they asked it to him. They lobbed him a softball like this, and he says, I don't know. So then they decided, okay, we'll simplify this for you. We will reassure you. Everybody knows that he's a Christian. He's been a Christian for his entire life. Everybody knows he's Christian. He said, I've actually never talked about it, or I haven't read about that. I've never asked him about that. You've asked me to make statements about people that I haven't had a conversation with about that. So if I were to ask you a question, you or Scott Walker, about a person, about something that everybody knows, is Jennifer Lopez a brunette? I don't know. Never had a conversation with her about that. Is John Kerry a male? I don't know. Hard to say. Never had a conversation with him about that. Now, I'm going to get into why he had to say this, but just think about how pathetic that is. He's never read about that. Has he read a newspaper about the president in the past 8 years, effectively? Has he not heard all of the different accusations that he's a hidden Muslim, and then those are instantly and repeatedly refuted? Has he never listened to a speech by the president when he talks about how we should be blessed by our God and about how awesome Christianity is? We did, on the Young Turks last week, we showed a montage of all the different times that he talked about how great America was and how blessed it was by God. But you're not sure because you haven't watched a speech or read a paper or listened to a debate in the past 2 presidential elections. This guy wants to be the president, and he knows nothing, the most basic information about the man who currently holds that job. There are many things that should invalidate his chances of running for the presidency, that should bar him from getting the job. But this one, this willful ignorance, this lying, cowardly ignorance, should be number 1 on our list coming into this week. And so why do I say that it's cowardice? Because he, of course, does know. Everybody knows that he's a Christian. What makes you a Christian? What is it that makes a person a Christian? That they say they're a Christian. Now, yes, it would be preferable if every once in a while they go to church, I guess, or maybe they pray, or they read the Bible, or something like that. But you are a Christian or a practitioner of any religion if you just say that you are. He says that he's a Christian. Or is he? I don't know. I've never had a conversation with him about it. Now, I would say we could take a man on his word for what religion he is, but he apparently requires more evidence for that. Not for his political beliefs or anything, just for whether or not somebody subscribes to a certain religion. So why is he saying this? Of course he's saying this because the Tea Party has taken over the Republican Party. The Republican Party was crazy to begin with. The Tea Party is a crazier version in several variables, and now he has to appeal to them. And so think about the things you have to say you believe, the things you have to say you think to get these insane people to support you, to vote for you. I mean, normally I would say that a statement like this is to appeal to donors, but I don't think that the business class of America cares whether or not people think the president is a Christian or a Muslim or an atheist. No, this is the actual voters. He thinks his potential voters are the stupidest people in the country. And those are the people he would be proud to represent as president, apparently. You have to say such crazy things. Like, think about, we might put pressure on a liberal politician, a progressive politician, if you can even think of one, to say crazy things, perhaps. To maybe say that they care about the environment in a way that they probably don't. To say that they care about the rights of gay Americans in a way that they probably don't. But is that nearly as bad as having to say you don't know what religion a person is when they've made clear thousands of times over the past 8 years exactly what religion they are? If you can't trust him to be honest about what religion a person is, how can you trust him in any way as politician, as governor, let alone as the president? And not to mention, of course, the fact that this is just another instance of him agreeing with and being fine with the insane undercurrent boiling over of racism in the Republican Party right now. Because that's what this is. Now, no matter what the Democratic president is, they're going to say crazy things about them. Bill Clinton was a white man. They came up with a million different conspiracy theories about what he had done, that he'd murdered a man, all those things. They believe him. But they never said that he wasn't an American. They never said that he wasn't a Christian. To deny someone their fundamental identity, to cast them as an other, as Scott Walker has in the past week, as Jeb Bush has in the past week, as Rudy Giuliani has in the past week, it is to say, I know that the crazy racists that I want to vote for me don't see him as the same sort of American as they are, as I am, and I'm going to appeal to that. And for someone who wants to be president to appeal to the most base, most disgusting beliefs of a significant portion of America, that's scary to me. It should be scary to you too.